People of the YouTube world and all who are watching this. I am Mackenzie901K, and today we're going to be talking about all things annotation. This is my first time really deep diving into a annotation video and talking about my experiences with annotating, and I really feel like it's necessary because I've been doing annotation for the past couple of years. It is safe to say that my annotation has changed a lot. Not only it's changed in structure, but it's also changed my reading experience. I definitely think that if you are somebody who maybe has a favorite book or is trying to do a buddy read with somebody, or you need to talk about the text like I'm doing right now for a YouTube video, then annotation may be something that you want to look into. It really, I think, personalizes your experience with the text on a much deeper level. I think I started annotating back in 2023. Where I started annotating and where I have kind of ended up is very different. I have changed so many things. I've changed supplies. I've changed styles on how I annotate. Today I thought we would talk about some of the supplies and also how I annotate. So let's first start in with the supplies. For reference, here are a few books that I have annotated. You can't really see the tabs until you get super duper close, but there they are in all their glory. I also started annotating a new book, and we will talk about that in just a bit. But yeah, for reference, here is a few of the books that I've annotated. I've annotated a bit more, but my experiences with annotating, they vary. So let's start though with supplies. I think the most important thing when it comes to annotating is tabs. The reason that tabs are the most important is because they help you visually see your annotations from a farther away standpoint. If I were to go and annotate a book and there be no tabs in there, honestly, I feel like that would not be most beneficial for me, because I'm a person who, when I annotate a book, I like to go back in and not only read my annotations, but revisit certain scenes and talk about certain scenes with my friends. So that is why tabs are super duper important. And as you can see, I have a plethora of them. I have so many tabs, and this is a thanks to my best friend Chloe. She got me these a couple of years ago. These are tabs just from Amazon, and I also wanted to say I will have my Amazon storefront linked with all of the annotation supplies that I currently use. So if you guys are interested in purchasing some annotation supplies or trying out annotation for yourself, that will be for you, and that will be linked down below. Key point here, tabs are very important to not only set up your annotation key, but also visually see your annotations and make them stand out. Then I wanted to talk about some pens and highlighters that I use. First, starting with highlighters. These are the highlighters that I use. These are the zebra mildliners. I have more than just these. I have actually this whole little thing here of zebra mildliners, and I've been using mildliners now for a few years. I started using mildliners for bullet journaling, but then I figured out that you can use these for annotating, because I won't say they're bleed through proof, because they can bleed through, but they are better in my opinion than like the Sharpie highlighters. So that is why I use these. And also there's an array of color options with these. I feel like these highlighters offer so many more color options. It's kind of insane. Then as far as pens, I typically use a Palette G2 pen. However, this is not a Palette G2. It's a knockoff. It is a Dollar Tree version of the Palette G2 pens. I don't know where my Palette G2 pen is. I need to find her because I do miss her, because this is not as good. I will say that right now. These are not as good as the Palette G2 pens, but really any ballpoint pen will work. You just need to make sure, and you can test this out on like a sheet of paper, you just need to make sure they're not going to bleed through. I would just test your pens before you use them. And then we have these. These are called Jelly Roll Metallic pens. They are just a fun way, or at least the way I've used them is a fun way to spice up the experience of annotating. I've never personally went in and annotated with these. I mostly use these for doodles, which I'll show you guys in just a little bit, but they are so good for like doodling and things. That again levels up the experience of annotating. And then just some final things that make it a personalized experience is post-it notes. Post-it notes and clear post-it notes. Post-it notes, if you are one of those people who doesn't really like to write in your book, or you want to write down a thought that is a bit longer than what will fit in a margin, then you can use post-it notes. There's also the option of clear post-it notes. I've personally never used clear post-it notes. I've heard they work. I've seen them floating around online before, but I cannot attest to them working. That's pretty much it on supplies. You can also, if you again want to like level up your experience with annotating, you can use washi tape, things like that, to like decorate your pages and really like customize them to your liking. I have done that a few times before. Well, I've done it one time before, and the one time I did it, it really didn't turn out too well. But I do want to go back in and eventually do something like that. Sorry if the camera angle just switched up a little bit. I had to keep my camera from dying. The main key here with annotating is it's really what you make it. You can make your annotating as extreme or not extreme as you want to. If you wanted to do something a bit more extreme, you could go in and like doodle on your title pages, color them in, create cute drawings for them, go in and add washi tape and make them just like a really cute spread. Or you can even do that for your pages where you'll have your keys, which annotations go where, things like that. That elevates the experience. You can also pick as many tab colors as you want, like I have here. I have quite a few in here. They are all for different things, or you cannot. I mean, the experience is really unique to you. I've seen people before just take a pen and just go in and underline things in a book and never use tabs, or I've seen people use one color of tab or just use a highlighter. It's basically whatever you want to make it. Going off of that, now I kind of wanted to talk about how I specifically annotate. So I annotate mostly fantasy books. So with me mostly annotating fantasy books, my keys are typically bigger and I do have a lot more tabs. So we can first start off with the book that got me into reading. This is Daughter of a Pirate King, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely adore her. This was the first book that I ever annotated. This is what the pitiful key looks like. It looks so pitiful. So I'll put a picture up of the key so you guys can see it, but pretty much on this key I just have quotes, favorite scenes. I have a tab for Alosa called Batty Alosa. I have a sass tab, a princess tab, a romance tab, and a random tab. Those all come together and make my annotations look like this. Those annotations I picked because that's what stood out to me in the book. I'm a very character-driven reader, so a lot of my annotations are going to be catered more toward the characters and what they do and things they say, things like that. But I do also include some like plot tabs sometimes. It really just depends on what I'm feeling for the book. But pretty much what I do is I go in and I will pick something out of the book to annotate. For example, I picked the first line of this book and it says, "I hate having to dress like a man," and I used one of my random tabs for that. So I've really changed up how I've annotated. I also done a lot of annotating with pencil. Compare that to this book and they look very different on the inside. So this has been my most recent venture in annotating. I just started annotating this book, so that's why you don't see as many tabs. This is Picking Daisies on Sunday. This is a reread. I already kind of knew going in what I wanted to annotate. So this is what this annotation key looks like, and as you can tell, it's very different. We have some doodles here. Those are the metallic pens that I used for the doodles. Instead of me writing what each tab was gonna be for on the tab, I wrote it to the side. And I'm also now using highlighters so you can see I highlighted what I was going to be highlighting in the book. And then we flip, and now this is what it looks like. This is something that I highlighted. This is a quote that I really loved. It's still the same concept as when I annotated Daughter of a Pirate King, but I just now do it a little bit differently. Like now I'll use pen. Like you can see here, I've got things written in the margins. I use brackets now. If I really want to like capture a paragraph, I'll go in and I'll use brackets. I'll circle things, as we can see over there. I'll just do kind of whatever I'm feeling. I'll doodle now, and it just makes interacting with the text so much more fun. For the most part, when I go in and I annotate books, I do annotate books that I already love. Most of my books that I have annotated throughout the years have been 5-star or 6-star reads. So that's why Powerless, Picking Daisies on Sunday, and Daughter of a Pirate King are all annotated and or being annotated, is because I really love these books. There have been occasions though where I will annotate books from the start. So for example, I did go in and I annotated Powerful completely. You can see her little tabs. She's so cute. I did go in and annotate this book. I annotated this one because I already knew that I loved Powerless, so I figured I was gonna like Powerful, and I again just wanted to interact with the text. This is what this annotation key looks like. This one's kind of a little all over the place because I ran out of tabs, and I also forgot one of the characters up here. We're not going to talk about that. You know, my annotations in this one are not as pretty. Like you can see, I literally scribbled out something right here. So there's that. And then I also annotate because, like for this book I read with Katie last year as a buddy read, I wanted to be able to remember the text, and interacting with the text on this sort of level really helped with that. So that is why I annotated this one, and I'll show you guys the annotation key. Here's the annotation key in here. And I also wrote up here, you guys can't really see it, but I did write up here that it was a buddy read. So other than that, again, I really just want to reiterate that annotation is what you make it. If you're not looking to do anything super duper crazy with your annotations, you don't have to. You just need to annotate what sticks out to you. That's really the only thing that I would say to follow when it comes to annotation, is just annotate what sticks out to you. If that's a character interaction or a conversation, you can annotate that. If that is a plot or a certain plot device that you absolutely adore, you can annotate that. If it is the way a ship or a sword or whatever is described, you can annotate that. Or if you're like me and you try annotating romance books, you can talk about the romance in your annotations. You can talk about something mundane like sewing, like I do in this book. Annotation is what you make it. It is not as strict as they make you do it in school. Annotation is just another way to interact with the text. But that's pretty much it that I wanted to mention in today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you are intimidated by annotating, don't be. It's actually really fun, and if you're like me, who finds a book that they love and you want to experience it again for the first time, annotating is for you. Trust me. There have been so many times, especially like I've showed, when I've went back and I've annotated Powerless and Daughter of a Pirate King and The Cruel Prince, that I've got to re-experience the books that I love almost for the first time again, because it's been a new way to experience them, and it's been really nice. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Helps out the channel, makes my heart smile. Also, comment down below if this video inspired you to start your annotation journey, or if you have already been annotating. If there's something that you feel I did not cover about annotating, leave that in the comments below. I want this to be a video to help out somebody who's new to annotating. If you're looking for another way to customize your annotation experience, I hope you found something new and fun to do in your books. Also, do be sure to press that subscribe button as well as that post notification bell. We try to upload around here every Monday and Friday, but that does not always happen, so definitely make sure to tap that post notification bell. That way you'll be notified right when I upload a video. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!